Good afternoon. My name is Sarah Trombley, and I will be your mediator today, if that is okay with both of you. You both may call me Sarah if you like. I would like to welcome you to mediation. Thank you for coming. Before we get started, I would like to confirm your names. Your name is?
Jake.
And you are?
Sierra.
And are we both comfortable using our first names?
Yes.
Yes.
Cool. So the process today will take about 2 hours. Hopefully we'll get through here a little quicker. That way you're both happy and we'll reach an agreement quickly. Before we get started, do either of you have an appointment or meeting that we need to be aware of?
No.
No.
Okay. So again, I would like to thank you for choosing mediation today. Some of the benefits of mediation is that because it is outside of the court and you guys get to come to an agreement mutually, you guys are more likely to stick with that agreement and be happy with the agreement that you come to. So have either of you ever been through mediation before?
No.
Okay, so because of that, I'm going to go through the process and explain it. That way you both are aware of how this will work today. So the first thing that will happen is each of you will be given time to tell your situation and what has happened. You will both have about the same amount of time. If you need a bit longer, that's okay. Also, this time will be uninterrupted. And in order to ensure it's uninterrupted, I have provided you both with pens and paper so you can make notes if you have something to say while the other party is talking. Generally, during this time, the plaintiff will go first, so Sierra, you will talk, and then Jacob will talk. After we go through after you each tell your story, we will identify the problems, the issues that we both can agree on, and then you guys will help each other come up with some solutions. We'll examine those solutions and figure out what we can do to write our agreement. Hopefully we will get an agreement written today. So do you have any questions on the process?
No.
Do you have any questions on the process?
No.
This process is completely confidential, so anything that happens here today will not leave this room, including the notes that you take and the notes that I take. So if you guys take any notes throughout the process, those will be destroyed at the end of the session. Also, during some point of our mediation today, we may decide to caucus. A caucus is just a fancy word for a private meeting. So if I feel, or you feel that you need to speak to me privately, so Jacob would speak to me privately and you, Sarah, would not be in the room, and then we would switch. So you would talk to me privately and Jacob would not be in the room. And that's just to help ensure that if you have anything to say, that the other one does not hear it. Anything said during that time, I will not tell the other one unless you give me permission. Do you both understand?
Yes.
Consent form that you will both sign. I understand that all files and notes of MMS and its mediators are confidential. If the parties reach an agreement, MMS will not provide a copy of the agreement to the court, the district attorney, or any other person who did not attend the mediation. I agree I will not hold MMS responsible for any agreements made or failure to reach an agreement during mediation. There are exceptions to this rule. A mediator can be compelled to testify about the mediation in cases involving juvenile abuse, neglect, or dependency, abuse, neglect, or exploitation of a disabled adult, disciplinary proceedings before the NC State Bar, felony trials, and criminal acts, violence, or threats of violence made during mediation that endanger a person or property. I understand that mediators are neutral parties and cannot give legal advice or assist in a case. If I have a legal question, I may request a continuance of mediation in order to consult with an attorney of my choice. I further understand that the mediators and MMS will give no opinion regarding the legal effect of this consent to mediation or any agreement that is reached as a result of mediation. I understand that MMS mediators and staff have judicial immunity from any civil action except in the case of willful or wanton neglect. I understand that weapons and physical contact are not permitted at MMS. I also understand and agree that MMS retains the rights to report any crimes committed on the premises. So now I'm going to ask you both to sign this. So Jacob, if you would sign it for me. And Sierra. And like this consent to mediation form stated, I am a neutral party. I will not give you advice or take sides. So if you have any questions about what would happen if this case did go to court, I cannot comment on that because I'm not a judge, so I don't know how this would play out in court, and that's not my job here today. I'm just here to help facilitate you guys reaching a mutual agreement that you will come up with. I will not come up with an agreement. You both will hopefully come up with an agreement at the end of our mediation today. And again, this process is confidential, and I am a neutral party, so I'm not here to take sides or worry about what happened in the past. I'm here to help you guys think about the future and how you will resolve this conflict. Before we get started, I'm going to go over a few ground rules. So in order to make sure each party is heard, you guys will not interrupt each other. If you have something that you would wish to say or comment on, I would ask you to write on your paper that I have provided for you. And then when it is your turn to speak, you can bring that up. Second, no weapons are allowed in this room, so if you have any weapons, I ask that you hand them over now. Do either of you have any weapons?
No.
And also, I would ask that you turn your cell phones off and lay them in the center of the table, just to ensure confidentiality and to make sure that we are not distracted today. And lastly, I just want you guys to be both polite to each other throughout the process. If we cannot be polite, then I ask you just to speak directly to me. Do either of you have any questions?
No.
No? Now, before we get started, just to make sure, do either of you need a bathroom break or refreshment?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so since you're the plaintiff, we're going to go ahead and get started with you.